Learn Hebrew with Little Isaac. Today's lesson, Deborah, Prophetess and Judge.
Hey boys and girls, ladies and gents. My name's Isaac, and that's my cousin Debbie.
Shalom!
Debbie has asked me to teach her Lashon-HaKodesh. That means the set-apart language or tongue. That language is none other than Hebrew. Hebrew is the original language of the scriptures, and learning the language will help you to have a deeper understanding and greater appreciation for Yah's word. We're going to start today with a quick refresher of the Hebrew alphabet. I've asked my friend Sally to help us with the Hebrew alphabet. Take it away, Sally.
Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Wa, Zayin, Tet, Tet, Yud, Ta, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samet, Ayin, Hey, Zadi, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Ha.
Excellent. Now it's time for you to try. Today, we're going to start by reading the story of Deborah.
She's one of my favorite Hebrew ancestors.
I bet she is. I figured that. Since you both have the same name, Deborah's full story is found in the book of Judges, or Shaphat-Judge, in chapters 4 and 5. But before we get started, we're going to learn 7 Hebrew vocabulary words that are found in the story. The first word is the word give. In Hebrew, it is the word Nathan. Now remember, Hebrew's read from right to left. Nathan is spelled Nun, Ta, Nun. Now if you noticed, the Nun at the end kind of looks strange, and that's because it is one of 5 Hebrew letters that have a different form when they appear at the end of a word. This is called a sophit, or final form. The second word is hand. In Hebrew, hand is Yad. Yod, Dalet. The third Hebrew word is one I'm sure we're all already familiar with, Yasharal, also known as Israel. It is spelled Yod, Shin, Resh, Aleph, Lamed. The next word is the word for woman. It is Aishah. Aleph, Shin, Hey. The next word is judge. That is Shaphat. It is spelled Shin, Pei, Tet. The next word is the word for say or said. That is the word Amar. And it is spelled Aleph, Mem, Resh. And the final word is the Hebrew word for tent. Auhel, Auhel. That is spelled Aleph, Hey, Lamed. Alright folks, we're just moments away from getting into our story. Now, as I read the story in Hebrew, I want you to do your best to try and follow along and repeat the words after me. The words will appear in green. Our vocabulary words will be underlined in red. Now, one last thing. You should know, sometimes these words will have another letter or two attached to them as a prefix, meaning in front of the word, or as a suffix, meaning at the end. Or sometimes both. A little word of advice. Take a screenshot of these 2 charts, as learning these prefixes and suffixes will make learning to read Hebrew so much easier. In the story, you'll see this phrase, which says, Beyadka. Do you recognize the two letters in the middle? That's right, it's the Yod and the Dalet, which means hand. The letter Bet is a prefix, which means in. The letter Kaf is the suffix. This is a Sofit Kaf, and in English it means your. When you put it all together, it forms the phrase, in your hand. One last one. In the story, you'll also see this phrase. Uthamar. Do you recognize the vocabulary word? That's right, Amar. Aleph Mem Resh. Amar means say or said. This word has two prefixed letters. The Wa, which means and the Ta, which means she. We probably should change the graphic. That's better. If we put it all together, it forms the phrase, and she said. Now we will begin our story. Again, I'll be reading in Hebrew, and Debbie will be following along with the English. Uyahai beyami hashaftim uyashu bnei Yasharal-Israel hare ba'ayanai Yahweh uyabdu alefta habelim.
And it came to be, in the days of the judges, the children of Yasharal did evil in the eyes of Yahuwah, and served the Baalim.
Uyiten Yahuwah alefta Yasharal beyad melech Kanan Sisera uyekarau bnei Yasharal al Yahuwah.
Therefore Yahuwah sold Yasharal into the hands of the sovereign of Canaan, and the commander of his army, Sisera. And the children of Yasharal cried unto Yahuwah.
Udabara Aishah Nadia Uhi Shafta Alefta Yasharal.
And Deborah, a woman, a prophetess, she was judging Yasharal.
Uhi Yoshevet Tachat Et Behar Afrim Uyelu Aliyah Bnei Yasharal Lemishpat.
And she dwelt under the palm tree in the hill country of Ephraim, and the sons of Yasharal went up unto her for judgment.
Takara Dabara Labarak Uthamar Aliyu Yahuwah Eloi Yasharal Zu Atka Leka Yad-Hand alefta Sisera beyadka.
And she sent and called for Barak, and said to him, Has not Yahuwah Elohim of Yasharal commanded, Go, and I shall draw Sisera into your hand?
Uyamar Aliyah Barak Am Talaki Ami Uhalakti Am Lo Talaki Ami Lo Alaika.
And Barak said to her, If you go with me, then I shall go. But if you do not go with me, I do not go.
Uthamar Dabara Aleka Anka Ki Beyad Aishah Yiten Yahuwah alefta Sisera.
And Deborah, she said, I certainly go with you, for Yahuwah sells Sisera into the hand of a woman.
Uyel Barak Ute'el Emud Dabara.
And Barak, he went up, and Deborah went up with him.
Uthamar Deborah al Barak Kum Kize Ayom Asher Natan Yahuwah alefta Sisera beyadka. Hello Yahuwah יצא לפניך,
And Deborah said to Barak, Rise up, for this is the day in which Yahuwah has given Sisera into your hand. Has not Yahuwah gone out before you?
וירד ברק בהר תבור, ואשרת 2,000 איש אחריו.
And Barak went down from Mount Tabor with 10,000 men after him.
וייתן יהוה אלפתה סיסרא, ואלפתה כל המקנה ביד ברק, ויפל כל מקנה סיסרא לפי קרב.
And Yahuwah gave Sisera and all his chariots into the hands of Barak, and all the army of Sisera fell by the edge of the sword.
וסיסרא נס ברגלו על אוהל יעל.
Sisera, meanwhile, had fled on foot to the tent of Yael.
ותצא יעל לקרות סיסרא ותאמר, עליו סורה, אדוני סורה, עלי אל תירא.
And Yael went out to meet him, and she said to Sisera, Turn in, my master, come turn in to me, and do not fear.
ויבוע סיסרא האוהלה ונרדם.
And Sisera went inside her tent and fell asleep.
ותתק יעל אלפתה יתד האוהל, ותשם אלפתה המחבט בידה.
Yael took a tent peg and took a hammer in her hand,
ותתקי אלפתה היתד ברקתו, ותצנק בארץ וימות.
and drove the peg into the side of his head, and it went down into the ground, and he died.
ותשיר דברה שיר ליהוה, אלוהי ישרל, כי נתן אלפתה סיסרא ביד אישה.
And Deborah sang unto Yahuwah, the Elohim of Yasharal, for he gave Sisera into the hand of a woman.
So, Denny, what have you learned from the story of Deborah?
When we put Yahuwah first in our lives, he can use you to do great things. It doesn't matter who you are, man, woman, or child.
That's right. And sadly, most people don't put Yahuwah first in their lives. Just like in Deborah's time, a lot of our people are still bowing to idols. Some put money first place in their lives. And others, they put themselves in first place. But just like you said, Denny, when you put Yahuwah first place, he can use you as a fountain of blessing for his people, through which his living waters can flow. Until next time, shalom, ulahitro.
Peace. See you later.